What are your New Year's plans in real life?
In real life?
Yeah.
Like New Year's Eve into New Year's?
Yeah, like actually like New Year's Eve plans. Do you have something?
Yeah, we're going over to a friend's house who his birthday is on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to go over there. I think we've watched a football game in the past couple years that we've done this.
That's true.
And then we go right into a New Year's celebration.
Gotcha. John and I are having a New Year's party. I was going to say, if you didn't have anything. I figured you probably did, but.
Always appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
But I'm always busy.
One of these days, you'll be like, you know what? I can actually go. Welcome to episode 11 of the Mark Rodney Show. Welcome back. Today, we are talking about our year in summary. It's a little end of the year podcast, a little reflection.
Yep.
Talking about the year we've had. We are officially, as of January 1st, 2 years already in business together with Mark Rodney. So, yeah, why don't you kick us off with what we're going to discuss?
Sure. First of all, that's kind of crazy. In one sense, it feels longer because we did a lot of preparation for the rebrand from Take Two to Mark Rodney Productions.
Right. That all started in the summer. Like, if you remember the summer of whatever year I graduated, 23?
Yeah.
I think it was the summer of 23 that we started going, okay, we got those pictures,
Yeah.
our like professional pictures, went to the studio. We were trying to come up with, we spent way too many hours coming up with the name and figuring that out. And
recording our first podcast so that could launch.
we even landed our first client before we were officially in business.
Yeah. So that's wild. So we did a lot of preparation for the rebrand, and then we officially launched to the public January 1st. So that makes it an easy birthday for us to remember going forward. But yeah, I wanted to really do this year-end podcast to reflect. I feel like we've had kind of a crazy year this year, and we've already been in business 2 years. I wish we would have done it last year. But I would like to do this going forward, just kind of recap our full year.
It's a great bookmark.
Yeah.
Like, we can look back and be like, what did we do in 25? What did we do in 26? And like you said, it's a perfect little birthday.
Yeah.
To like remember, it's like, well, when the year starts anew, it's another year of business. It's like a perfect little,
Exactly.
date.
So, January 1 will mark 2 years. But 2025, let's talk about it a little bit.
2025.
The year of
the
our
year
Lord.
I turned 24. I'm still 24. But, which, this is random, but I have to say it. It's like my favorite number.
25, really?
24.
24.
So we're in the year 2025, but I'm 24 because I was born in 2001.
So is 26 just downhill for you?
So it's all downhill after this.
You've already peaked.
When June of 26 come around, it's over. No, it was like Jeff Gordon was my favorite NASCAR driver. He was 24. I don't really watch NASCAR, but it's 24, right?
Yeah.
And my dad's basketball number was 24, so my number was 24. Kobe Bryant's number was 24. So 24 has a really positive association for me. So I'm still waiting. I still have like 6 more months of being 24. So I'm still waiting for some awesome things to happen as a 24-year-old.
Okay. Before you hit 25, I'll be hitting 27 in June.
Oh, boy.
That's crazy.
You're on your downward spiral to 30, my friend.
Yeah. You know, I'm excited, though. I've been fearful of getting older for a while, but I'm feeling good, like headed towards 30 at this current moment. Maybe ask me again closer to my birthday, and I'll probably have a different answer.
You'll be having a crisis, a quarter-life crisis, as they say.
But, you know, I bought a house this year. This is like just another big year for me personally as well.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, let's talk about the company
Let's
here.
talk about our projects.
We're going to start with Mark Rodney Productions, specifically with the client work. I feel like it was encouraging because we had an increase in client work overall.
It was a growth year, 100%.
Yeah. So if you are a client and you're watching this, thank you for hiring us. We love and appreciate you bringing us out on projects. So I kind of want to talk about some of the projects that we've done. We don't have to go in depth on a lot of them, but the kind of work that we're finding ourselves doing. As creatives, I tell a lot of people this, so I apologize if I've already shared it on the podcast, but I feel like every creative is kind of on their journey on figuring out what they like to do. You know, you may start in, traditional media or music. A lot of people find their gateway into creativity through music. That was the case for me. My mom was a music teacher. You get into it, and then you're like, okay, I like this creative stuff, but what do I do? Do I have a knack for traditional art, painting and sketching and those kind of things.
Which is where I started.
Right, yeah.
My gateway into creativity.
And then it's like, well, photography is usually sprinkled in there at some point, and then, video is a whole nother animal. But then within video, are you a wedding filmmaker? Are you a
Do you do commercials? Are you narrative? Are you? Yeah. There's so many different avenues, even just within video.
Right.
Even being performative. Like, are you better on camera, or are you better with the gear? Or are you better,
And you start a business, you think you're going to be professional and all this stuff, and it's just like you're still a creative person, and so you kind of like find your path still. So I've been having fun reflecting and seeing what our path has been. So this year, one of the biggest projects that stood out to me when I was reflecting on this in preparation for this podcast was an on-location podcast where we fully produced everything. Like
at 19 Hawthorne.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. We did a whole YouTube video on that if you want to check that out as well, like behind the scenes and how we pulled it off. But that was a really fun one for me. A couple days of production. We had a test setup day in addition to that. We advised them on how to actually pull it off, and
we helped them with their set deck.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit, like you said, on that YouTube video. So you can go check that out for a full breakdown of that. But we had a day in preparation, like you said, and we went and we just, let's figure this thing out. How many cameras are we going to cover it with? What is your set going to look like? How are you guys going to be seated? How are we going to bring in guests? And what's the plan for the length of it and what we're going to do. We had this whole day to kind of sort everything out. So we felt like when we arrived that day, we knew exactly how much time it was going to take to set up, get into it, and get guests in and out. And like you said, we did this great thing where we blocked the guests.
Yeah.
We had, like I said, I love that project. You did too. If you're looking for a podcast, we want to help you with that. I think that's something that we're really enjoying. And producing the whole thing, we're happy to do that.
Yeah.
To go out and get everything set up.
At the end of the day, we walked away with 10-hour-long episodes, and it took 2 days to shoot.
So
it took a lot of coordination, a lot of effort for sure. I don't want to diminish that, but it was a pretty good payoff for what we put into it. I feel
we go early in the year. We shoot enough episodes. You can release one a month. It was a really nice setup, and I think they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think they liked having that podcast as well too. We'll see what happens in the next year, if they choose to continue that. But we definitely had a good time doing it the first time.
Yeah, for sure. So that was just a cool one. A lot of cool behind the scenes. We got the YouTube video. We got a lot of cool photos from it too. So I would like to do more of that work if we can find that.
Me too.
But that was just kind of a big and unique one to me.
You even got a chance to be on the podcast.
That's right. I was a guest, on episode 6 or 7, I think, somewhere at 6, 7.
I don't remember. I don't want to say I didn't watch it, but I was there when it happened, so I didn't need to watch.
No, so that was good. Another thing we did this spring was kind of a blur because it was so quick, was we did some radio ads for one of our clients.
We did, just before summer hit. It was kind of that flurry of time at the end of school years where schools are ready to be done with everything.
But in the lane of audio, we have all the podcast equipment. It's the same as radio. It's podcast is basically just a modern day radio show, right? So it's
and it's more accessible than
a quick, easy one. But that was pretty fun. And then we did some additional program videos for basically building on series that we have already done with clients. So for this one particular client, we had 20 or so videos, even more than that, I think, deliverables that we were shooting again in a couple of days. We do a lot of block shooting. You'll find if you work with us, is we try to encourage.
And honestly, if you're a client out there, that's the best way to get bang for your buck.
Right.
Is can we schedule full days? And if we could do 2 days back to back, you can get enough materials to last you a while.
Yeah.
Especially in certain departments. Like you said, those particular videos were highlighting different programs that, the school offered.
Yep.
So if you have different programs you want to highlight, or you have multiple different departments in your workplace or something, and you want to highlight each thing, or you want to do testimonial videos and you want a block of 5 testimonial videos or something,
right?
We can come out and we can do that in 1 or 2 days, as long as we have the time. So we schedule those out and get those done. And we've also enjoyed that work quite a bit too.
I think my marketing brain really understands that, because we're highlighting each, you're getting specific coverage, like you're making sure you're touching on every one of these programs, and then you can use that. And this is what I was going to tee up next: is we use that same footage for YouTube ads or like paid advertising.
Repurposing.
Right, exactly. That's another big thing, that if you're not thinking about repurposing your content, you're spending money with us to get the content. How many ways can we use that to get in front of your audience or to be another touch point with
And
your
if we've already
clients?
come out to film stuff, it's going to be cheaper, right?
Right.
It's like if you want to repurpose
Because
stuff,
then you're just paying for the edit. You're not paying for another
you're
shoot day.
just paying for a new video to be put together.
Right.
Not to go out and film, not for us to bring out our gear, not for us to drive out to spend a day. That's where the money is. So
Right.
once again, if you're a client, that's the best way to do it. You know, think about how you're going to repurpose that footage. If we come out and get a bunch of B-roll, so like just footage of whatever it is in action,
Yeah.
you know, to go with maybe an interview or a voiceover or whatever it is, then you can reuse that footage later if you want to do like little advertisements, whether that's 60 seconds on YouTube, like we did for this
Right.
client, or
30 seconds. I
sorry,
think.
30 seconds on YouTube for this client. Or if you maybe want to do a minute long one, or you want to do
Right.
radio spots like we just said, or you want to do
or a bigger project like a documentary. Like you have all of that you can use as B-roll, and it's a good variety because you specifically hit every one of those programs, so nobody's left out, and you can pull from that bank of assets and overlay interviews or
and
whatever
we've
else.
said this about most of the things we've done so far, but I think documentary is one that we get really excited
Yeah.
about as storytellers. We get a little bit more of an opportunity to jump into
Right.
like the story and tell someone's story. And also I found that to be valuable for companies. Like
Yeah.
I think companies are turning a corner with all the new platforms and things for video on the importance of storytelling in their brand.
Yeah.
And not just the big companies, like, oh, it's Doritos. Of course, they're going to have an amazing Super Bowl commercial or like
Right.
whatever. But the documentary series can be both a very personal thing, whether it's like a family-owned business or something like that,
Right.
or it can be a really positive thing highlighting the success stories of the people that have come through your business or your school or your fill in the blank.
Right.
You know? So, and we enjoy those as well. So docu-series have also been overall in the last 2 years, not just this year.
Yeah, I was going to say,
have
I
been
feel
a
like
big thing for
we
us.
did. There's a much bigger focus on that on our first year in business.
Yeah, the documentary.
2024 year, I guess. We did a couple of them. We did a docu-series, and then we did like a mini doc for like a agritourism business, like a
Farm.
Yeah, farm. So we did some more of that stuff in 24. Again, we really like that. There's a passion project. I think you know the one I'm talking about. But I would like to tackle in 26 if we can. The time that we're recording this, though,
you saw the blankness in my eyes, being like, "What is he talking about?" And then I remembered.
we're recording this before our 2026 year planning, so we have that coming up later this week.
Yes, we do.
Brody and I are just masterminding the entire year out the best we can.
Which we've been looking forward to because we can't stop talking about it.
Yeah,
So
it's like we're always learning and things that we want to change and set up for ourselves, like in the coming year. But we've not had a chance to spend the time on that yet. But there's a passion project that I'm really excited to try, and it's a documentary this year, so I think that'll be good. More on that later, hopefully. And then what else have we done? We also sponsored our first event.
yeah, that was cool. And
Yeah.
the interesting thing was, it really makes you feel like a real business. No, the interesting thing was we had gotten a couple opportunities. And we actually passed one up that we almost did. We were very close to doing, which is like a golf outing, if
Yeah.
you remember. We wanted to, but it wasn't quite the right fit time-wise, I think,
Yeah.
and money-wise for us. But then we got another opportunity with another client, and we actually went out and filmed that day for them
Yeah.
also, if you recall. I don't know if you had that on
Yeah.
the list, but we gave a little recap, basically.
Yeah, and
video
that's how we ended
for
up
them.
sponsoring it. So
Yep.
for this particular, now don't get a whole lot of ideas. This is a special situation. I'm just
It
kidding.
was.
But we went out, and the way we were supporting them was to give them the photo and video assets. It was a nonprofit.
Yep.
For kids. It was I'll shout them out. It's the Logan County Kids, Loco Kids is what
Loco Kids,
their
yeah.
logo and everything
Yep.
is. But they're trying to build this like kids museum in Logan County.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah, and they were doing a fundraising 5K, so like the whole event was to raise money, not to spend money. And they had talked to us about, another project, and we felt like a way that we could support them was to do this recap video and photography. So shout out to you. I wasn't able to, I signed up for this gig. I said, hey, we'd love to sponsor this. And I said, Brody, hope you're free this day because I need you to go out and shoot. I'm busy that day.
He's like, you're fine with the fact that like I signed us up for this and I'm not going to be there, right? And I was like, I guess.
Yeah. I think you edited it too.
I think I did,
I don't know. Well, I forget what I was doing. But thanks to you for doing that. That was great.
You're welcome.
Brody's a man of the people.
Here to serve.
And then we hired Chris, a buddy of ours,
to come out and do
Chris
photo
before on
with
the podcast, and he helped us out with some photos as well.
And that was a really cool event. Like you weren't there, your mom was there.
Yeah, my mom was slinging Mama D's sodas.
That's right. Mama D's sodas was there. In fact, I got one at the end of the day, and they are delicious. I can't account. And we did some advertising for her as well, and got to drink some there. Also delicious.
Yeah. So it's fun when you see, like, obviously it's my mom and family, but like other clients
crossover
on the same project is kind of fun.
It was cool to see kind of even just Logan County in general, like come together that day and being there. They did a fun color run, and
we got a little sign with our logo on there. That was kind of fun as a sponsor.
Yep, and I got the chance to kind of I'm walking, the pathway of everybody's running, and you get to see those signs next to it, and there's people standing there throwing this colored powder for like these color runs and stuff, and I got in there and got messy.
Yeah, I did.
My coat was covered.
He returned the camera to me, and it was covered in like yellow dust, and I was so proud of him. I was like, attaboy.
Way to get in there. But it was fun. It was a good recap video, too, I think. And I think that was a successful event for them. It was fun for us to sponsor our first thing.
Right. I think it's a good segue into another trend that I noticed on a lot of our client work this year, and that's an increase in photography.
Yeah,
in the packages. So obviously we're a video production company, but a lot of the skills and equipment cross over into professional photography as well.
And we know photographers. We know a few people who are
capable. We know
capable.
a few photographers. I have some photography experience.
Some photography.
I don't do a lot of like portrait work, so don't come to me with your family photos asking. I don't do a lot of that. I've kind of found my lane when it comes to photography.
But product photography has been
menu photo shoots is something
a through line for you.
I've done menu photo shoots freelancing outside of our business for a while, and this year we actually folded our first menu photo shoot into Mark Rodney Productions. I think we'll see more of that in the future, hopefully. But it was for the cookie shop, One-Eyed Cookie Lab,
and we had a lot of fun
in
that
downtown
day.
Bellefontaine. It was so much fun.
If you have a product you want to showcase in the same way they did, that's a lot of fun. We get the whole backdrop set up. We had a crisp, I think, blue and pink.
Yeah, because that was
background.
the brand colors.
Yep, for their brand colors. And we got to do some slow-mo video, some photography.
Yeah.
The cookie dropping in the milk and it splashing
Probably
up.
my favorite photo I have taken ever.
It was an amazing picture in that, like, you captured the exact moment. It looked like you took a slow-mo video and dragged to the exact place and did a screenshot.
Yeah.
Because it was just so, and I was like, you were like, it was one chance, dude. It was like, drop the cookie and take the picture.
I just recently upgraded my photo camera, but this was before I had done that. And it literally clicked like once during the drop. I was freaking out. I was like, no way we got anything. I looked at it. It was perfect.
Perfect crisp photo. I still kind of remember the picture.
There's a limited amount of times you can do that because your paper backdrop, you're spilling milk everywhere, and we're getting grease from the cookies everywhere, so we kept rolling it out. So it's not like we could do a million takes on this.
Right.
But, oh my gosh, I love that photo.
Yeah, it's a great picture. It
was a lot of
great
fun.
moment.
And that was a photo-only gig. We did some video, I think, for our own
video.
social media. I think we shared it with them.
How can you resist a slow-mo cookie dropping in milk? We were like, we kind of just hit record.
Might as well record this, but another thing, we filmed and took photos for a speaking engagement. This was early on in the year. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Someone wrote a book, and he was speaking locally in the area, and wanted to hire contractors out to
do both a recap video and film the entire thing.
And social media edits.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was a good little gig. Another one we did more towards the end of the year, this fall, we worked with the Ada Chamber of Commerce to go out and do...
And that was fun, too. We got to go to a bunch of different cool places.
We got to do a little recap video for them. They just wanted to highlight... They basically had marketing dollars that they were moving from one thing to another, and we got to highlight a lot of good local businesses.
Highlight commerce in Ada.
But we gave them the option of adding on a photographer to the package, and I'm just seeing the value in this more and more because you get a more complete...
marketing tool
box, if you will, of assets that you can use throughout the year. It's not like you have to make one post. I think a lot of people is like, hire a professional video person to come in, make the one video, and expect it to do amazing, like gangbusters, without any and if you're throwing money behind it, that changes the narrative a little bit. But like, if you're not used to doing video content,
Right.
One video is not going to solve all your problems.
Right.
Now, let us come capture a bunch of stuff, do different deliverables as you have the budget or it makes sense to.
Also talking about, as we've said on a lot of these video series, like all in one day. We're not saying like come out for like 8 days or something to make this,
Right.
but then you have a package of videos. You can strategically release them. And then if you do the ad on a photography, like you said, you have pictures you can post to all your socials.
You can tease the videos with the photos.
With pictures, yep.
You can, add value to, like in this case, they're serving small businesses so they can distribute those photos to those businesses if they want. So just a lot of good stuff comes from that. But another good use of photos in my mind.
And footage that can be repurposed. Once again, you have all those businesses that have video of their places. If they want that video used for their own
the business can work with us to create their own video from the footage that we captured without paying for the shoot day, which is really great. Good idea for other chambers out there if you're listening. But another thing we did was the luxury apartments in Columbus.
Yeah.
That was super fun. Connection of mine runs these.
Talk to Maddie about that.
Curated. Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to know what I'm talking about, but that's okay.
His family member. But they curate these spaces, and it's furnished apartments. And it's a testimonial video. And we were able to do that.
With a couple that was hilarious.
Yeah, they were great to
a ton
work
of fun,
with.
and also loved that apartment. Perfect for their testimonial video because they had nothing but great things to say.
Yeah, and I think that's where our product obviously is put to work the best, if that makes sense, is when we work with our clients, like they usually have a pretty active part of who are we talking to? What are those questions? Obviously, we will prepare the questions and we will fill in any gaps. But usually we're going over that list. For another client, we had several meetings before our shoot days talking about not only logistics of when we're scheduling stuff, but what are those questions to making sure you're talking to the right people and that it really is the best content that we can get.
And that's part of it. Like if you're a client out there, once again, is working, the closer you work with us, usually the better the end product. Meaning, yes, we can come out with a pre-list of questions that you've never seen and get a decent testimonial video out of whomever you place on the chair.
To me, that's like baseline our responsibility.
Yep. And we always do that. We always put together a list of questions and we send them to you. But it's up to them what they do with it from there, and it's up to them who they're going to put in the chair.
Yeah.
And the best projects, at least so far for us, have been the ones where we're communicating back and forth. And we have that meeting, and it's like, think about the person that's going to want to share and want to talk and be excited even to be on camera. And, it's partially also our responsibility to make someone at ease. And I think we've gotten better over time at being very conversational with those people and getting them to relax. And then they start talking to us. And then we happen to be running cameras. And that's usually where you get the best stuff. But yeah, I think just working together is my point on that. Where if you're a client out there, it's better when you look at the questions and you're like, no, because you know what you want exactly for your marketing.
Whether you know you do
website.
Or not.
You have an idea, and so it's like, can you mine that out? Can you access that and share it with us? Because then we can take it and run with it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that was a good experience too.
Yeah. So, but we did photos with that one as well.
Yep.
So to kind of round out the photo things, I think there were a few others that we didn't highlight, but those were just a few that stood out to me when I was going through the list. And then testimonial videos. I feel like we did a sprint at the end of the year with a couple different clients with testimonial videos.
Yep.
Which is just a great marketing asset to have on your website primarily, but also you can push those out on social media, whether it's a PR thing. So you're trying to set the narrative about what the public's saying, about your business, or if it's a marketing thing to raise awareness or to build trust with your clients, right?
And that's
we had
been
a good
big one, too.
experience with, the furnished apartments. Those were testimonial videos. Had a good experience here, so you should also do the same. So those are classic. A lot of interview setups for us this year.
Yeah.
So much so that we did a YouTube video talking about how we pack our car full of all of those.
The gear it takes to
all
shoot
the gear,
interview.
To do at least a 2-camera setup. But yeah, so that's kind of quick highlight of what kind of work and some of the clients that we've worked with this year. A lot of fun, super grateful for all those experiences.
And already excited about, we were talking about just recently what's coming up in 26. And the people that we already know to reach out to or have already reached out to us about what's next.
And It feels so good to go back to a client again, so a repeat client.
Absolutely.
So,
You know what we're not thinking of?
what?
Oh, maybe it's on there. I think I saw you put it on there, but we didn't say it. Is ENR
ahead.
trailer.
Oh, yes.
Just because that was an interesting experience.
That's true. That was just a highlight video. I actually was going to miss that one, so I'm glad you said that. So that was like a last minute
I was going to
situation.
say, that situation was crazy.
Let's tell that story real quick.
Yeah, so I'm on my way. I'm in the car. It's a Friday. So we're heading into the weekend. And I'm on my way to something else we're doing for Mark Rodney Entertainment, actually. And I get a phone call, and it's actually from one of the pastors at my church who knows this guy at ENR Trailer and who also goes to my church. Mm-hmm. And he says, he called me looking for a video. He needs this video. He has a pitch, like with another company. And I was like, okay, great. I'm listening. He's like, it's great. Now, one small issue. This is Friday, by the way. He needs it by Tuesday, right? And I was like, Tuesday? So we shoot tomorrow? Is that like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, no, he's going to be out of town until Monday. He'll be in a different state until Monday. And I was like, so we shoot on Monday and they need it by Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right. And I called you, and we
Yep.
were both on our way to the same place that night for Mark Rodney Entertainment. I said, hey, I got this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We had another
Gig.
like creative shoot happening,
Yeah.
and creative shoots just always take a little bit more bandwidth.
Yep.
Like just planning and preparation and just
Brain
be fully
energy
present,
and being present, all that kind of stuff. And because it's our work,
Mm-hmm.
our whole vision. It's not like working with somebody else. And I told you about it. I said, this is what's going on. I said, like, what do we think? And we're like, well, I mean, tell them what it's going to cost.
Right.
And if they're in,
We'll
we'll
make it
do
work. Yeah, we were available.
I happen to have Monday off. I usually teach on Mondays. I happen to have it off. I think it was, I don't know, maybe Labor Day? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But I had Monday off for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, if they accept our price, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And we said, here's what we're doing. This is what it'll cost, blah, blah. They said yes right away.
Yeah. Well, let me pick it up from there.
Sure.
So we got to the entertainment shoot, the creative thing.
Oh, yeah, if you
you
wanna
were
go into more
recording
detail.
in the studio.
Yep.
So Brody was singing, and I was filming behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
for another project we'll talk about. But I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna like have to step away for a few minutes, and like I got him on the phone. I was like, so I'm like twice removed from this guy, right? I'm like, I'm Ethan. I'm friends with Brody, who was introduced through this other person.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, okay. And
Yeah.
he was like almost giving me every out. He's like, this is such a quick turnaround. I don't even know if it's going to be possible. I said, we will try to make this work for you. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make this work for you. And so we got the green light on it. And so the next day, or that Monday, I guess it was. So we had Sunday off, like in between there to prep, I guess. And then Monday we went to their business. Full day of shooting. Brody and I
Had a
both
day.
show up bright
Yep.
and early in the morning. There's 2 locations. Traveled out there. It was a bit of a drive for me. It was more local to you this time, but
Yep.
yeah,
10
we
minutes
filmed
away.
at the first location. We got a tour first.
I was gonna say we got a full tour of both
massive
facilities.
facility, yeah.
And then we jumped right in with our cameras. We went for
Yep.
it. We got as much footage as we possibly could for them. And at the end of the day, this is the great part. So we did all that. We got the footage. We're like, I think we got stuff. And we were like, okay, Ethan, you're in town. I have obviously my home office set up. We're like, we're going to have to edit this together today.
Yeah.
And what he said at the very end of the shoot was, he's like, we leave on a flight tomorrow morning, and it would make me feel better if we had it tonight. So in other words, we did
Not even a 24-hour turnaround.
not 24, like 12.
Yeah,
Maybe
if that.
12. We started our day, like we filmed, edited, delivered
Yeah.
in maybe 12 hours,
Yep.
maybe less. And it don't get any ideas. No. It's possible with a very specific video, and that's what it was. And we did a very, very specific video, and we were capable of doing it within 12 hours. But
Yeah.
if it wouldn't have been that exact kind of video, I'm not sure we could have done what we did.
Right.
But we turned around, we edited together
Yep.
at my place. We
It's
got
true.
it done, we got it delivered.
Yeah. So, and he used it for a pitch because they were trying to be a distribution site for a major manufacturer, I guess. So that went really well for them. But
I was going to say, and I heard later, because he goes to my church, that it went well.
yeah. So it just feels good when we're able to fill a very practical, tangible need that our client has.
Right.
In addition to just doing some video work, we'll do just your typical video work, but don't be afraid to ask if you have a specific
Yeah, if you have a
need.
question, maybe it'll work out. Maybe you'll have the day off.
Right.
Maybe it'll be the kind of video we can do in 12 hours. You never know.
Yep. And as we continue to ramp up the business, we want to be able to help people more in the ways. But yeah, that's client work. Just wanted to highlight that. It's been kind of a crazy year. We really did have a push at the end of the year. We're still working through some edits now as the time of recording this.
Yep.
Hopefully by the end of the year, we're kind of through that
We're
last
so close.
video. Yeah, we're so close on that series. But I also quickly wanted to highlight our YouTube channel. So if you are not subscribed to the Mark Rodney Productions YouTube channel, I encourage you to go and subscribe. We're trying to put more effort into that. That is our old Take Two channel, but we've been doing a new kind of content on there, really unpacking a lot of the behind the scenes of our video production work for
Yeah,
clients.
so focusing more on client work and gear.
Right.
Like the combination of what it takes to do that client work and what those experiences have been like.
Yep.
So, like you said, you already mentioned a couple of them, but how do we do a mobile podcast? How do we
Right.
do a podcast like we did for 19 Hawthorne?
Yeah, how to load up our car.
load up
We
our
did your
car.
desk build video.
How to build a desk setup at home.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
video editing, those kind of things. But if you listen to this podcast and you're not subscribed, go over and hit subscribe for me. That would really help us out as we are trying to, like,
Please.
obviously it's a shameless plug, but we're trying to really grow that. I'm encouraged because over this past year, we saw over 100 subscribers for our small channel. It's kind of a big deal. So we want to continue that growth. I think that's something we're going to focus in a little bit more
In the
in
coming year,
2026.
yeah, for sure.
But that
We've
also
never claimed to necessarily be YouTubers.
Right.
And that was the interesting thing. And so we've been on this learning curve of trying to figure out like what that means in the YouTube space.
and balancing it with the client work
Right.
and the
It's like
creative
there's,
projects.
you're listening to all the stuff we're doing. Like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people, this is a nice podcast for even people to understand what it is.
Yeah.
we're always
that
gone
we're
doing.
always doing. Ethan Brody just hanging out again.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, there's been a lot of work to do, and then we have to edit all that stuff too.
Right.
And we rarely get help on the edits. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of we will bring in people, but it's only when it's absolutely necessary and we're overloaded with work.
Right.
So that's what we're busy doing. If you're like, where's the next YouTube video?
Yeah.
Which sometimes happens.
Yeah,
But
so if you're a YouTube subscriber and you're like, why does it take you guys so long to upload?
It's been
That's
6 months.
why. It's tough.
Yeah.
So be patient with us, but we are
Yeah.
going to try to continue to improve in those areas. But the other thing I want to talk about quickly is we also launched Mark Rodney Entertainment. And we've already extensively talked about what that is.
Yep.
And we've talked about some of the projects already, but I'm going to tee it off to you about some of what's been going on that front.
Well, yeah, it's been about a year to like this time,
Right.
when we kind of launched Mark Rodney Entertainment.
Christmas Cookie dropped
Yep.
the beginning, like the end of last year, the beginning of
So yeah,
this year.
our kind of when we launched Mark Rodney Productions, we did a Christmas little sketch
As
I
the
would say.
announcement video
As the
for-
announcement video.
Yeah.
Right. But then we liked it so much. We were like, it was so fun to do something at Christmas that we were, last year around this time, I said, can we do something just fun, creative for Christmas, make maybe a little short film. And you were down, and we got to have fun with our friends. And so that was kind of the launch of Mark Rodney Entertainment. We started
Yeah.
a new channel, and that was the first video that came out. So if you watch that, you're an OG. You're the first one for
Yep.
Mark Rodney Entertainment. And then John and I, who's been on the podcast many times and helped with a ton
Yeah.
of projects, him and I had Wingmen come
Yep.
out at the top of the year. I believe January 1st, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so, yeah.
And that dropped. And so now that was a project that I don't think about as a 25 project because it
Right,
happened.
because we were sitting on it for a while. We
Yeah.
knew we were going to open up Mark Rodney Entertainment, the new branch.
launch
and-
it with that
Yeah.
short. And so we had Wingmen, the short film, one of our higher quality. We really got a team
Proof
together.
of concept, not a short film.
Yes, it was a proof of concept technically. But as it stands right now, it's the only thing available
Yeah,
to watch
the
for
standalone
Wingmen.
piece.
But yes, it was a proof of concept for a script that we wrote for a
Feature-length script, yeah.
And so that kind of came out in 25, but it had been a 24 project in my mind. But it was the launch of Mark Rodney Entertainment. And like
Right.
I said, one of our more high-quality pieces that we put a budget into. We had a
Yep.
big crew, and if you watched any of or saw any of the like ads leading up to that and behind-the-scenes photos,
And we've
stuff
done
like
a
that.
podcast episode on it, too.
We did a whole podcast breakdown. But that kind of started us off with Mark Rodney Entertainment. It was a little comedy short film for Christmas, and then a proof of concept with Wingmen.
Yeah.
And what we had been working on this year was a music video. So, and you've already seen a lot of stuff for that music
we
video.
don't have to beat a dead horse.
We don't have to beat a dead horse, but John and I did, a cover of Bye Bye Bye, had our boy band summer, as we always dreamed.
And that's the second podcast John has joined for to talk about. So if you want to hear more about
Wingmen
that.
and Bye Bye Bye. And if you haven't seen either of those,
go check them out.
if you haven't subscribed to Mark Rodney Entertainment, once
Yeah.
again, shameless plug.
True.
Go check that out.
Younger
Subscribe.
channel, but a lot of fun, creative stuff coming out of
And
there.
each project we've released has slowly grown that channel too. Like as small as it is, it's been encouraging to see a flood of new people come in for each new project that we release. So we worked on another one for Mark Rodney Entertainment this summer. Patina.
Which hopefully will be dropping early 2026.
I was going to say, we'll be dropping soonish.
Yeah.
If it's
and there's
not
actually
already
a
out.
few pieces around that. It's not just a single.
There are.
one-off.
So, and we will dive into that even further in another podcast episode that you can listen to and check out. Please do. So we did that this summer. That was super fun. We wanted to do a creative project while I was off from school, from teaching. So we put together a small shoot that we could do in one day. We filmed, I think, entirely outside, I believe, and brought out the gear, shot on a Red. Friend of ours, Jordan, shout out, brought out the Red for us.
My
had
first
a great time
shooting on
doing
a Red
that.
on my own. That was fun.
So we had a music video we shot and edited. We had that we shot and edited, and there's like a secondary piece to that we'll talk more about. And we finished out the year with another Christmas short film.
Yeah, it's our next step into this dream of having a Christmas short film every year.
Annual
Just
Christmas
getting
short
together a bunch of
film.
filmmakers and just having a good time.
And that's our intent behind
Christmas.
it, is like during, we have a lot of stuff. Everybody's busy. We know a lot of people. We know a lot of people who are creatives like us who like to do projects like this. They're busy. We're busy. But at the end of the year, it's kind of our goal now to get a bunch of guys together, guys and gals, and go shoot something fun and creative. And super happy with what now. You may have already seen it. I haven't. At the time of this podcast filming,
it's a pretty short
I have not seen
turnaround
it.
from the time that we shot it. We did like less than a month. So it's with our editor right now.
So that
shout out to Benji. Hope you're working right
future
now.
projecting. That came out, that came out Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So hopefully you saw it. If you haven't, go check it out on Mark Rodney Entertainment. But very excited.
It was a super fun one.
Very excited about this one. So please go watch. It was, and if you've seen it, you'll find this funny. I've maybe never had that much fun having to watch Ethan act. And if you think about the behind the scenes and what it took to make what you saw, you'll understand the fun of me just standing behind a monitor.
I don't act much
cackling.
these days, but the Christmas one, I think that's going to be something.
He throws
that I
himself
remember.
in every once in a while, and Christmas is the time that he likes to do that lately. But yeah, I put you to work, as it were. I think you came away with a few bruises.
Yes. I was definitely sore.
That night, I was a little afraid we'd have to make a quick run to the ER a couple times. But we didn't.
We didn't.
And maybe we'll break that down sometime on the podcast, too.
Yeah, maybe.
You can check that out.
Comment below if you
Yeah.
How many shameless plugs can we fit in this podcast? But yeah, so Mark Rodney Entertainment had a great year where you got more things that we've been working on already, like
there's
big
more
stuff.
behind the scenes than there is right now public facing. And I've had a few people approach me, and they're like, I thought you were content creators. Where's the stuff? We're working on it.
Yep.
There's a few big things in the works, but we can't really share too much more about it right now. But we're working on it. And maybe next year will be the year you see a lot of really
That'd be great.
big stuff from us. We'll see.
Yeah,
You never
we'll
know.
see. Year-end
know.
planning.
Yeah, year-end
Meeting.
planning is in a few days.
Yeah.
So we'll know then.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Other notable things that I thought about that were big for us is we switched camera systems.
That's true.
From mainly using the Blackmagic Pocket cameras to we're on Sony's now. So if you're watching this, it's shot on Sony.
It's just so much better file size wise. It's easier to carry around
client
for
work
client
especially, and for stuff like this.
Yeah, when it comes to shooting
There's
our
still
short films,
projects where I still grab the Blackmagic over the others. So that's been fun. That was a pretty big change for us that just kind of happened. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time on it or make a big deal about that. And then the other thing
transition
is
right into it.
We officially joined the Delaware Area Chamber of Commerce.
We did. Nicely done.
We're adults.
And I'm probably on my way to Delaware in a few months.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's going to be a crazy change. 2026 is going to be a big year.
it is.
But yeah, that's kind of
That's 2025.
yeah everything I wanted to hit on for 2025. Thanks for listening.
To our journal entry
Yeah.
for 2025.
Yeah, I'm excited to look back on this at the end of 26 and just see how much has changed and for the years going forward. But we appreciate you all, and we'll see you in the next one.
That's all for episode 11. Adios.
Ciao.
Goodbye. I had to get the last word.
You always do.
Yes, I do.